What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite mediocre team in the Bay Area. They're mediocre. They're bad. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I'm not going to sit up here. Hold on. I would like to say that this will not be a negative podcast. This will be a hilarious podcast because they're playing the Lightning, so who cares? But, I mean, they're bad. The reckoning was coming, and I will sit on my pedestal and tell all of you were wrong.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I was expecting JD to say something while I was talking, but he just kept going. So I just kept going. Which I'm good at. I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. Back with me, as always, is the actual main character of the podcast, JD. The brute shot to my Needler.
I was going to say the Josh Allen to my Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I should have done that. I don't know why I was thinking about Halo. It's because we were supposed to play Halo last night.
Yeah, well, I did play Halo, but yes. Anyway.
I did not.
After about the first period, I was like, yep, we can let's boot up the old Xbox. Because
the Sharks lost 7-1. It's just funny to say. Like, what? I don't know. The Lightning are amazing. I didn't expect them to get smoked 7-1, but I expect them to lose, and they lost in hilarious fashion.
At least if you're gonna do it, you might as well just lean into it, you know. So
they went full plane crash. It was awesome.
Yeah, like I thought, going because I did like a little mini pod beforehand, and I was like, the Lightning, they're coming off. They just got trounced by the Ducks. It's the last game of a road trip. If the Sharks can get up early, like you can kind of maybe just
send them home.
Send them home, right? No, that is why they are the Czech Nose back-to-back defending champions, because they're just like, okay, we're just going to play really good hockey, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because,
it doesn't help when you just kneecap yourself with dumb lines and blenders and all sorts of weird decisions. Like,
actually, I'd even mind the lines. Like if you,
I did.
Well, if you want,
what is Matt Nieto going to do on your second line?
No, I meant the lines going into the game. So
enough.
Before the blender, I didn't mind it. Like if you want to try to get Couture going, give him a little help with Barabanov, who's been playing really well since he got back from COVID. Like I understand that. Put Dahlin up with Timo and Hurdle. Help maybe try to spark him. That makes sense, right? All that stuff makes sense. 12 minutes into the game, Bob pulls out the old blender and just like Matt Nieto, second line, baby, let's go.
Who came off that line?
Dahlin. Dahlin went from first line all the way down to the third line.
Oh, so that means Nieto was on the first line.
No, well, the first line I consider the Hurdle line. So
so it was Dahlin, Hurdle, Meyer.
Barabanov jumped up to the first line.
There we go.
Yes,
and so then they reunited Barabanov, Hurdle, Meyer.
Yes, which definitely worked because
it always works.
It always.
And
works.
then they went to Couture, Gregor, Nieto. Now, hold on. I'm just gonna repeat something I said here. They went to Couture, Gregor, Nieto. Now, JD,
yes,
my esteemed colleague, co-host, friend, gentle lover. How many goals does Noah Gregor have?
I think he's got 1 goal this year.
How many goals does Matt Nieto have?
I think he's probably around the 3 or 4 mark, if I had to guess.
Now, follow-up question.
Yes.
Do you consider either of those guys offensive help?
No.
Interesting.
No. Gregor's just been snake bit, but like
at what point in your career are you just not good at scoring goals, or are you snake bit? Because I think at this point we can kind of just say Noah Gregor is fast and takes a lot of shots, can't really do much else.
I think this is the 25 game mark, which is right where he's at. So yeah, it's
okay. It's 7-1 or what they're getting smoked at this point.
Yeah.
Why is your first instinct to make offense to move a guy up who's been on, like, Matt Nieto's not even like Andrew Cogliano or any, like, why are you moving up a marginal fourth line guy and a guy who can't score to play with Couture instead of putting up like Rudy, who's been on fire for like.
Well, Rudy's on the COVID list, so can't do anything about that. But
right, I forgot that.
Yes,
that's why he's not there. Why wouldn't you bring Dahlin up? Why wouldn't you bring up Anybody who scored
Dahlin
goals,
scored like 1 goal in the past 25 games.
but
like
he's an offensive talent.
But he's
That's what he does.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
instead of taking him from the first line to the third line, maybe throw him on the second line and be like, maybe let's get something going. I just Gregor and Nieto don't give you offense in a game that you need offense.
You know who else gives you offense that should have saw him way more ice time?
Does his name rhyme with Ryan Merkley?
Yes, Ryan Merkley, who drafted to provide offense and played a whopping less than 13 minutes last night because
anytime you can give Marc-Edouard Vlasic 19 minutes a game.
and Šimik.
Jason Magna played 19 minutes.
Like
Jacob
Magna scored a goal last night. So
NHL goal scorer. Congrats to him.
NHL goal scorer, assisted by Ryan Merkley. But
so sick.
I know it's just like I know he had the bad pinch or whatever, but was it bad? He did the right thing. And the puck just squirted through. And especially when you're down 4 goals and you're trying to provide spark offense and try to get back in the game, you have to take those risks. And I
think that's the thing. It's not like he did that in a 2-2 game in the third period.
Yeah,
he did that when they had losing 4-0.
Yes.
What do you want him to do? Play sound defense and let them score? We all saw the heat maps. It was a big blue iceberg-sized dot in front of the Sharks goal, and then nothing in front of the Lightning goal.
The goggles do nothing.
The goggles did absolutely jack all. But I just don't understand why in a game that they're getting smoked, you wouldn't put Merkley out there and let him play 20 minutes. Give Burns some less time. Give Ferraro some less time because they're going to be playing a lot of minutes. And just have him try to create some offense. Who cares? What is the difference between losing 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1? Literally nothing. There is zero difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brutal. So, Kyle, that game made me really hungry.
For apples?
Or, apple-powered items that you can have.
Power sauce?
Maybe. Or even better than power sauce.
Built Bar?
That a boy.
They say new year, new me. New year, new you. You have selected you, which means me, which is incorrect. Because only you can have Built Bars this season. You're trying to get a good workout in. You got to throw out those candy bars. You got to go raid your junk closet. The good thing is you don't have to get rid of all the good flavor. I know you may love a Snickers bar, but Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate, so they taste good. Everybody's had those protein bars. You may be thinking to yourself, oh, but they taste bad. I've had some before. Nah, these ones taste good. They don't taste chalky. They don't taste waxy. They don't taste gross at all. And they have good flavors. Cherry Barcia, Rocky Road they had once upon a time. They had this caramel apple situation going on. They've got double chocolate, if you're a chocolate fiend. Peanut butter. They've got all sorts of different flavors. Coconut brownie. And they're also releasing new flavors all the time at build.com. So you can go check out and see some limited time flavors. They've got to have some Easter flavors coming around. It's springtime. You know those spring flavors. Mini eggs, peeps, tulips. Lots of flavors that could be coming out. So check out build.com. And the good thing is that when you do have one of these delicious tasting Built Bars, most Built Bars only contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to your favorite chocolate bar or candy bar. It's around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens upon dozens of net carbs. So what you should be doing is going to built.com, finding your favorite or a mix box so you can figure out what your favorite is, and then using the promo code LOCKED15, which is right down here if you're watching, and you get 15% off your order. So use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. I just don't understand the hesitancy to, when the games are going sideways against the Lightning, to just not play a bunch of dudes more minutes and give your Hurdles and your Burnses and stuff time off. I just don't. Why are we punishing Ryan Merkley for something Brent Burns does 5 times a game? And yes, I know Brent Burns he's got equity in San Jose. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I understand he's a veteran and stuff like that, but you can't say you're holding people accountable like you did with Timo earlier in the season. And then when somebody's trying to make offense and doesn't even really make that bad of a play, he gets benched. It just made no sense that Ryan Merkley played the least minutes when your defensive lineup is Brent Burns, Mario Ferraro, Vlasic, Šimik, Magna, Merkley. Am I missing one?
No, that's all because Karlsson's out day to day right now. So
Yeah, it's not like they had Karlsson to turn to. You need some offense. You need something going on.
Was Erik Karlsson just sitting there laughing and be like in the press box, be like, "Yeah, see what happens when I'm not playing."
Jeez.
Yeah.
So for the record, the injury he's out with is different than the oblique strain that held him out a couple weeks ago for the game. So we don't know what's actually going on.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried about this are you? Because they said they're hoping day-to-day, but they're getting some second opinions. And we know the teal curtain, Joe Thornton was famously day-to-day with a pick line. So on a scale of 1 to,
for like 3 months.
Yeah, scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you?
Remember when Shimmick was day-to-day with a blown-up knee? Awesome.
Yes.
On a long-term basis, like 1, 0, because it's probably
short term for this upcoming road trip.
6, but like honestly, if he doesn't play against, let me see, checks notes, the Florida Panthers, the Carolina Hurricanes, the Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins, I'm okay with it. It's fine.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they, especially because they have a nice break coming up here where they don't play again until Valentine's Day.
So like I wouldn't be shocked to see him. So they don't play until Wednesday. They play against Washington.
Yep.
And then they're off until the weekend.
Yep.
And then they're off for like 13 days after that.
No, they play one more game after that.
One more. So they only have like 1, 2, 3.
They have 4 games left.
4 games in like a week-ish. And then they have 2 weeks off, basically.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if they shut him down until after the break.
Maybe, or at least this Washington game, so he has like a full ass week off.
They get a week off, so yep, that makes sense.
I'm not really worried from a long term. Like upper bodies, or if it's just like a chest or an arm or something like that, I'm less. It's usually just broken bones or something like that when he broke his wrist a couple of years ago. So I'm not super worried from a long term perspective. But honestly, right now, like this is the reckoning, right? This is the punishment here for pretending to be in the playoffs. Good Eastern Conference teams.
Yeah, you got to play real teams, and it's you definitely see, especially when you're playing the Lightning, and it's like you don't have Erik Karlsson, who he hasn't been the same since he hurt himself a couple weeks ago, but
he's still good.
He's still very good at hockey, and not having Erik Karlsson back there to help with your transition, you saw that constantly where the Lightning's forecheck and just the Sharks just unable to get out of the zone. So. Erik Karlsson, please come back soon.
You know how you could get out of the zone?
A Ryan Merkley.
I was gonna say you play Radim Šimik more.
What? Up and off the glass, baby. 60% of the time it works every time.
I don't know, man. What? Like, hold on. Let's ask a question, man. Okay. Do you have any positive takeaways from this game?
SJ Sharkey's getting his own day.
Is he?
Yes. The mayor said I think the 28th is like SJ Sharkey Day in San Jose because it's his 30th anniversary or something. So
the 28th of January?
Yeah. Which is actually my mom's birthday. So good for her and good for Sharkey. But yeah, this was a bury the ball, burn the tape type of game. I think my favorite quote out of the game was Bob Bugner said it was just men amongst boys comparing the Lightning to the Sharks, because there was just poor James Reimer. There's this twice now where just like the Sharks just come out with no effort and then quickly put up 4 goals and he has no chance. So
I saw there was a quote, I think it was from Pashelk or something, where it was like, the Sharks thought they were playoff contenders, and this was a measuring stick, and there's a reality check. It's like, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, the Pacific is bad. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is what we thought were going to happen, and it just...
Yeah. I mean, this next stretch is going to be very, very rough for them. And
they legitimately might lose 6 games in a row.
Yeah, they might lose 6 games in a row. But then after that, then they play a lot of Pacific games. So that's where, if they think they're a playoff team, then you have to play well against these kind of 4-point games against the Pacific. But yeah, I
think the thing is that if using the conceit here that they are going to be in the playoff race, when we go to the standings here, and obviously we're recording this Sunday at 8. So
I know all the other teams just have a bajillion games in hand. That's the thing. So.
That's the thing, is that they have a bajillion. So San Jose's played 42 games. Right behind them is Calgary with 36 games, Dallas with 38, Edmonton with 37, Winnipeg with 38, Vancouver with 40. So Calgary has 6 games to make up 2 points. Vancouver has 2 games to make up 4 points. Like, it's going to be tough to keep pace if you're going to lose like 5-6 games in a row. Now, granted, the Kings and the Ducks and the Flames and the Oilers could all take a shit,
which is very possible,
especially
too.
But
I was going to say the other thing too is though these teams where they have a lot of games to make up, they're also going to have to be playing more like back-to-backs and stuff like that, where they're not going to get the rest and stuff. I think like the Senators who are bad and stuff, but like they have to play like 50 games in 100 days. Like that's just insane. Like you're going to see some of these like insane schedules. But I mean, so hopefully it washes out a little bit, but yeah, it's still just, again,
you just can't lose if you're trying to make playoffs, you just can't lose too much ground, and losing like 6 games in a row is probably going to be bad.
That might be really bad.
It's just their upcoming schedule is let me point it out here.
Yeah.
They just played the Lightning, then they have the Capitals, at Panthers, at Hurricanes, at Lightning is the next 4 games. Then they get a little reprieve and they play versus Oilers versus Canucks, but the Canucks are kind of good now. Yeah, then they go versus Golden Knights at Ducks, and then they kind of slows down because then it goes like Islanders, Bruins, Kraken, Knights. Well, then they have the Predators. This is the hardest part of the schedule.
It's a brutal part, so especially going into the trade deadline. So, but you know what isn't brutal, Kyle? Betting, especially online.
Mm-hmm.
So, BetOnline AG would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the #1 spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. A new year and a new update desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, UFC, rate your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for 2022, especially right now, next weekend. Kyle, really quick. Chiefs -7. I kind of like the Bengals there to cover.
Kind of like the Bengals. The Bengals are frisky.
Rams -3.5.
Love it. I think the Rams are just going to blow the Niners out.
I got the Niners. I think the Niners win that game. So if you think you're smarter than us, head over to BetOnline, place your bets. Make sure you use that code LOCKEDON to get a 50% bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so what can the Sharks maybe do to try to stop
maybe if you make some lines, just leave them there for like 2 periods.
Yeah, give them more than 12 minutes. But
the hell is that? I think at this point the Gregor experiment might need to have a little break.
Hopefully if Balcers comes back, like so my hope is Balcers should be back for Wednesday's game with from his COVID, right? So then if you put the Couture, Balcers, Barabanov line back together, put Dahlin back up with Timo and Hurdle, and then drop Gregor down to the 3rd line, and then drop Cogliano to the 4th line. Like as much as Gregor
and Nieto back onto a line that doesn't have high leverage situations. 4th, 3rd, I don't care.
But like and so it'd be the Nieto, Menino, Gregor, Cogliano, Weatherby, Raska, Veal, it doesn't matter anyway. Or like I don't know. I think with these games though, you need to try to generate offense, and like I know the Sharks want to try to win every game too. Like where's Hobblewalks? Where's John Leonard? Like these guys who are scoring really well.
That's a good point. Where's James Hobblewalks?
Like these guys are scoring down there, and it's like you bring them up for like a game or two, and it's like, oh, you didn't score right away. Back to the Barracuda, and it's like. I think with these upcoming games, if you want to try to win, you're going to have to try to swing for the fences. And why not try to swing for the fences with these guys who have been scoring with the Barracuda right now? And like, Leonard's I think he's got 3 goals in his last 2 games. And like, he can play this, well defensively. Like, why not bring him up and give him a chance and see if he can, try to provide a spark right now. The Sharks desperately need.
Yeah, they have nothing going on. If it's not coming from Hurdle, Meyer, Barabanov.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it. Like that top line is it. And that's all that's going on. But like you said, John Leonard's got 4 goals in his last 5 games to extend it out even further. Like, give him a shot.
And like, he can score on the power play. We've seen it. And because that power play 2 unit is poo-poo platter right now.
Power play 1 is even bad.
Yeah. I mean, power play 1 I thought looked really good.
I need to see it longer than just like 1 game.
Yeah, it looked decent, but like, it's but still like try something out because it's not whatever they're doing right now. It just isn't working. So That's what
nothing's
I
working, and their idea is to try to change it, to try to get back in the playoff race or stay in the playoff race, is to move Matt Nieto up to the second line. That's their idea. And I know Shane tweeted out, yeah, you read that right. Matt Nieto's on the second line, but he's the only Shark with a pulse. It doesn't matter if he has a pulse. He's not the guy. Like just because he's working hard doesn't mean he's a guy that should be in the top six. Like I would rather have a struggling Dahlin up there to try to score some goals than a full firing Matt Nieto, because they do different things.
Yep.
It just is what it is. And I know Gregor takes a lot of shots and he probably is driving a little bit of play and stuff like that, but he can't score. He can't do anything. Like I think John Leonard, just bring him up. He played 50 games or whatever last year with the Sharks. Just give him some games and be like, hey, maybe he's learned his lesson, or whatever the hell reason they gave for putting him down there. Just try something. Jaden Hobgavox was good in his couple of games that he played. What is wrong with bringing him back? Like, does he also have blackmail on Bob or something like that, like Nick Merkley does?
It's they all collectively ran over Bob's dog. But yeah,
I just don't understand why the break glass in case of emergency is going to guys who don't provide offense and are like journeyman guys like Nieto and Cogliano and stuff like that. They're just not it. And yes, I understand that there's not a lot of options.
Yes, we know.
I understand that. But at least try some of the options that are a little more marginal on the offensive end, because you're playing arguably the three best teams in the league in a row.
Yeah, and also four best teams in a league in a row here.
Yeah, well, Carolina, Florida, Tampa are like the three best teams in the league, possibly, and Washington's right there.
Yeah, they're like the next tier. So it's going to be this is a tough road stretch. So yeah, I would, and then the same thing too is like you need to figure out if these guys are going to be worth continuing to invest in, right? Like Hobblewalks and Leonard and stuff like that. Like, do you want to keep them around? Like. Or just, it's like you need to see if they can actually do something when they're given the chance, and given more of a chance than just like 2 games and said, okay, cool, go back to the Barracuda. We'll see you at the end of the season or something like that. So
precisely.
So
anything else we want to talk about the Lightning? Because I'm done with this game.
I'm lightning out.
So. I am lightninged out.
Yeah, it was tough. At least it gets better against the Caps, right?
No.
Maybe. No.
Alex Ovechkin is leading the league in goals with 29, so congrats to everybody having to play against him. Maybe cover him in the power play.
That's our one advice. Do not just let him sit there on the power play by himself that everyone seems to do. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's been like 15 years and he continues.
I would like Bundy now from the Sharks.
So
if you would like to talk to us on the internet, you can do that at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Locked on Sharks for all three. Obviously, we're active on Twitter the most probably, but if you do message us on Facebook and Instagram, JD puts up all of our work there. So you can interact with us there. If you'd like to email us, lockedonsharks@gmail.com. Haven't got an email in a while. Thank you for your service, everybody. YouTube, if you want to watch us, that's your thing. You can do that at Locked On Sharks on YouTube. We're marching towards 550. You can interact with us there. We will respond. If you say something bad, I will respond from my personal account, which I've done many times. But we will talk to you on the YouTube comments if you want. Listening to us, you know where to listen to us. Spotify, Amazon. Like I don't know what to tell you. If you would like to talk to JD directly and tell him how good of a job he does with the podcast, you can do that at my fry hole.
Kyle is at Kyle Demetrius. If you want to slide in those DMs, he's still looking for that Jeff Friesen jersey. So,
I know.
Thank you for making us your first listen. Check us out tomorrow as we are going to find the centerpiece for the Tomas Hertl trade. So tomorrow's a very visual one. So make sure tomorrow's a good YouTube episode. Also go check out Locked On Bets if you want to make some money. Go check out Locked On Capitals. You want to learn about the Capitals before the Sharks play them on Wednesday. And go check out
Locked On Diamondbacks.
Locked On Diamondbacks, who are poor Diamondbacks. Poor Diamondbacks. Bye, friends.
I don't even know anything to say. Just poor Diamondbacks. See you, everybody. Ciao.